Something I have noticed that the people who are winning in life are not always the smartest people in the room. Sometimes they're just the people who know how to communicate better. And I'm not just talking about speaking fluent English or using fancy words. I'm talking about expressing yourself clearly, speaking with confidence, handling conversations, making people trust you, knowing how to present yourself. Because honestly, communication can completely change your life. And I wish someone had told this to me earlier. Growing up, I genuinely thought confidence was something people were born with. Used to look at confident people and think maybe they're just naturally like that. But after working for so many years, speaking to different people every single day, handling pressures, dealing with rejections, recording content, I have realized something very important that confidence is not natural. It's always trained. And in this video, I want to talk to you normally like a real conversation about the biggest things I have learned about communication, confidence, and personal growth, because these lessons genuinely have changed the way I see myself. So let me ask you something. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something because you've always felt that you are not yet ready? Maybe starting a content, maybe speaking in public, maybe starting a business, maybe approaching people, or maybe even speaking confidently in meetings. Most people are waiting for confidence to magically appear first. But life doesn't work like that, my friend. Confidence comes only after repetitions, not before that. I still remember when I first started speaking professionally, overthinking each and every sentence, thinking, am I sounding weird? What if I mess up? And what if people judge me? And honestly, that fear is completely normal. Everybody experiences it. But the difference is some people act despite this fear and some people let the fear control them. That's where growth starts separating people, because the first few times will always feel uncomfortable. Your first video will always feel awkward, and your first speech will always be awkward, and your first meeting will also be awkward, because everything feels awkward in the beginning. And if you keep showing up, your brain slowly adapts to it. And one day people start saying, bro, you are so confident. But they haven't seen the uncomfortable version of you. They only saw the result. You know what? That's really crazy. Nobody really teaches you communication as a life skill. Schools teaches you formula, college teaches you theory, but communication, most people learn it only through experience. And honestly, this skill affects almost every area of life. Think about it. A person can have an amazing idea, but if they cannot express those ideas properly, people may never even notice them. Meanwhile, someone with average knowledge but excellent communication gets this opportunity faster. Why does this happen? Because communication creates impact. People remember how you make them feel. And once I started understanding this, I stopped looking communication as just talking. I started looking at as leadership, influence, connection, confidence, and presence. Even in business, people buy from people they trust, and that trust is built only through communication. That is why I always say learning communication is one of the highest value skills today, especially now, because AI can replace many things, but genuine human connection, presence, energy, clarity, those things can still matter massively. Honestly, life changed my personality in ways I never expected, because it forces you to grow. Because every day you deal with different personalities, pressure, rejections, conversations, and also emotions. And slowly you stop taking things personally. And that's one huge lesson. Rejection is always normal. Most people fear rejection so much that they never even try. But in life, you quickly realize rejection is part of the process. And weirdly, that lesson applies everywhere to content creation, rejection, business, rejection, opportunities, rejection. You cannot grow while trying to avoid discomfort all the time. And sales also taught me something very powerful. People don't just respond to words, they respond to certainty. Your tone matters, your energy matters, and your confidence matters. If you don't believe in yourself, people can sense that immediately. That realization changed the way I communicate. I started focusing less on sounding perfect and more on being genuine and clear. Because authenticity connects more deeply than perfection. I genuinely think one of the biggest reasons why people stay stuck is fear of judgment. People are terrified of embarrassing themselves. That's why they don't post, they don't speak, they don't try, and they never start. They keep waiting for that perfect moment. But honestly, there is no perfect moment. And one thing content creation taught me is this: the moment you stop obsessing over people's opinions, your confidence grows faster because you stop performing and you start expressing. That changes everything. And look, people will judge you. No matter whatever you do. If you stay quiet, they judge you. If you become successful, they judge you. And even if you try something new, people will always judge you. So why let that fear stop your growth? Most people are living according to other people's opinions, while the people judging them are not even building something themselves. And this realization hit me hard. And after that, I started focusing more on growth than validation. If I could genuinely tell my younger self one thing, it would be this: your life changes when you learn how to communicate confidently. Not the fake confidence, but the real confidence. That kind built through experience, repetition, discomfort, and growth. And honestly, you do not need to become completely a different person. A lot of people think I'm introvert, so I can never become confident. That's not true. Confidence is a skill. Communication is a skill, and skills can be trained slowly, daily, and consistently. You do not need perfect English. You don't need expensive equipments. You don't even need permission. You just need to start expressing yourself more. That's it. And maybe that's the biggest message I want to leave with you today. The version of you that you want to become is hiding behind uncomfortable actions. The conversations you avoid, the videos you are scared to post, the opportunities you hesitate to take. Those things might actually change your life. So start now. Even if it feels awkward, even if you're nervous, even if you're not fully confident yet, because confidence is built in motion and not in overthinking. If this video connected with you, drop a comment and let me know your biggest takeaway with this. And subscribe, because I'll be sharing more real conversations around mindsets, communication, sales, self-growth, and personal branding as well. So this is Kalimullah Sharif, and I'll see you in the next video.